cucked and talk about this shit as though it's like a good thing.
When you rule for 70 years, you inevitably have highs and lows. We have talked about the Queen's life, legacy, and family. Let's now talk
Thank you, Zero Stress Tag, for the 5
about the
gift subs.
controversies. First, the regressive family culture. Honestly, this was bound to happen. You cannot put a medieval institution in the 21st century, and if you do, there will be contradictions. In the Queen's case, she battled a lot of these contradictions. Diana and Charles were clearly not in a happy relationship. Their extramarital affairs were on most front pages, but the Queen ignored it, trying to brush all the toxicity under the carpet. In fact, the whole family preferred...
That's pretty funny. I did not think the Indian news anchor was going to start off with Princess Diana's extramarital affairs. I literally did not think that that was the first point that there's like a lot of history leading up to that. Definitely did not think that that was the first point that was coming. I was like, okay, that's the first one. Okay, they're burying the lead a little bit, I think, but okay.
Diana would later speak about how she contemplated suicide, how she felt alone in the family. And that really boils down to the Queen herself. As the head of the family, it was her responsibility. Almost 2 decades later, history repeated itself, this time with Meghan Markle. She said she faced discrimination and loneliness in the...
Still don't understand why we're talking about Meghan Markle after Princess Diana. There is more to it. Will they get to what the British Empire did in India? I don't know. I mean, I guess everyone in India knows that already, so that's the reason why they're talking about like the TMZ shit.
The family, all the pressure, all the expectations. It became too much for her to handle. What was the result? She and Prince Harry chose to resettle in the United States. Both these episodes reveal a larger problem with the family. They are torn between happiness and so-called notions of duty. Another issue many historians talk about is the Queen's refusal to apologize for the past. She has indeed admitted colonial crimes. She has also visited sites of British excesses, but she has stopped short of apologizing for them. In hindsight, should she have done so? After all, the British Empire was not some benevolent institution. It was ruthless, racist.
Oh, really interesting. Why is the coverage like this? Very interesting that the coverage on Indian news is dramatically different. They're not saying that the British Empire was a benevolent institution. That's so strange. I wonder if there's any sort of historical reason for that. That's kind of crazy. I wonder why so many fucking people are excited about the prospect of like, another remnant of this old superpower that bullied and raped, pillaged, murdered, genocided their people. Feel as though, it's great to disrespect the dead, actually, because of what they represented.
And vicious. If the empire existed today, it would probably be accused of crimes against humanity.
No, it wouldn't. Because guess what? America. I hate to report on this, but we already have an example. This writing random numbers in the chat. America. It's perfect, unfortunate counter to that narrative.
Let me give you some examples. The Jallianwala Bagh massacre, the Bengal famine, the Mau Mau uprising in Kenya. All of these could easily be prosecuted at any tribunal. But the Queen never apologized for any of it. She may not have been directly involved in these, but she was the modern face of the institution responsible.
Yep.
So perhaps an apology was necessary.
Yep.
During her 70 years on the throne, Queen Elizabeth II was considered a passive monarch. She never interfered in British politics, but recently there was a worrying report. The Guardian reported that the Queen lobbied to change a proposed law in 2021.
This is what I wanted to talk about more today. Her domestic involvement in domestic British affairs and what that meant.
Now, why did she do that? The law would have forced the Queen to disclose the scale of her assets.
Also, this is the right of center media, and even they fucking hate it. This is the hog news of India, not leftist or liberal media, by the way. Of course they hate it. I mean, of course. They were subjects.
All her shareholdings, real estate, everything. So the Queen allegedly sent her private lawyer to get an exemption. And if this did happen, it would have been a rare event. Most British prime ministers say the Queen.
Turkish people hate you. Americans hate you. British people hate you. Whose side are you actually on again, Kami? Man, it's so crazy. Yeah, they really do. All these people that you mentioned, every single one. I know whose side I'm on. I'm on everyone's side from all of those countries, as long as they are on the side of the working class. Perhaps that's the reason why you feel as though so many people despise me or hate me, because you're brain broken by capital owners constantly fucking telling you, look, you know, this is bad, this is wrong, this kind of messaging is terrible, terrifying.